Hello, hello, sound check. How's everyone doing? God, you guys are quick. um, I'm glad to see some of you guys have got the bell notification set up. That's nice to know, because you were quick. Damien, how are you doing? Let's have a look who's in. Nice to see you in the chat. You're addicted as well. Yeah, I can't stay off it. Strange, isn't it? Ant-Man, good to see you. Patrick, Puzzle Peanut. Anyone I've missed? Antonio, how are you? Kobe, good to see you. You're having a lot of problems on the Xbox. Yeah, I saw that on the Discord. You've put quite a few things on there, haven't you? It's a shame, really. Let's hope they fix some of that quite quick. Damon, you're in Hamburg. You're doing a big 15-wagon freight train, trying to level up to London. How do you get more than 12 wagons on the back? I've been trying to work this out, because you'll see in a minute, I upgraded my loco again, and I went for the big 950k NEWAG train, which I think is the most expensive one you can get. And I thought, oh, as part of that, it's going to give me the ability to run more than 12 wagons. Anyway, it didn't, so I'm not really sure what I need to do there. So I'll be interested to find out. Right, let me get myself in the chair, ready to go. Oh yeah, I see what you mean. Hell with you in 2 minutes. That I don't know how it worked out like that. That was meant to be I will be with you in 2 minutes. So I don't know what the heck went on there. But let's get into this. Antonio's just got up. Yeah, of course it's 2:15 for me in the afternoon. Corby says, "Is this more dynamic than TSW3? More things to do? There is more things to do. There are more things to do yet. It's just not as detailed a simulator as TSW3, I would say." Hi, Farah. Right. So, what I've been trying to do is open up a little bit more of the map, and I'm over at the moment at the Hamburg grain mill. I went over to the last one I did off stream. I went from Hamburg farm and did a short run to Hamburg grain mill, and that's where I am right now. I think the first one I'll do today, I think I'll go and transport some coal, and I've not opened up Bremen yet on the map. If I zoom out, you can see Bremen is greyed out. So if I quickly hop over from Hamburg to Bremen to begin with, that should start unlocking that. So that's the plan initially. So once I get to Bremen coal mine, if I open the contracts panel, and you can see there's a bug. I don't know if it's the same on Xbox, but if you look down at the bottom, we've got two buttons there for X, Interact, and Open Station Panel. And they're both marked as X. This confused me for a long time because I was pressing X and nothing was happening. And I wanted to look what contracts there were. So actually on PlayStation, the correct button to look at the contracts for the station panel is square. Now, I don't know if that is the same on Xbox and you've got to press a different button. But yeah, if you go to where you want to go and press square, you can see all the available contracts that we've got there over in Bremen. So just looking now, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 11. I've still got 12. I've still got 12 wagons on this train, so I need to find out where you upgrade it, so I can get more, as you've done, Damien. I need to find that out. Unless in the service centre, can I add more wagons? Is that what you do? I really don't know, but I could do to take more than 12 if I can. So that's where we're going to go. We're going to go to Bremen coal mine. So let me set in a waypoint for that. That's the first thing. I'm going to go into the service centre before I leave. And I don't need to worry about fuel because this is an electric loco. I'm in cargo mode. I've got one employee. Actually, that's quite tricky, you know. At the moment, setting up a route for your employees, I've been having some trouble with that. I've managed to get my guy to do one route so far, and now I'm stuck. I can't work it out. I need to spend a bit more time on that. These are the engines that I've got. No, it's not. These are the engines that I've got. These three so far. So yeah, this one is the newest one. This was 950k, so I think this is the most expensive one you can get. What else am I looking for in here? Upgrades I've done. I've fully upgraded this one, I think. And I've applied them. There was a trophy for doing that, so I did that. Anyway, let's get underway, shall we? We'll get the brakes off. We'll get to the coal mine. Oh, it helps if I'm going forwards, doesn't it? Because I've just backed in. There we go. Alright, let's try that. Yeah, it's quite a big map, Corby. It is big. I think it's basically the whole of Europe, I think. Yeah, Damien, tell me how exactly you get more wagons, because I need to know that really. I thought the bigger train that you bought, or the more expensive train you bought, you would add more wagons, but that doesn't seem to be the case at the moment. Yeah, PS5's not bad at the moment. There's a couple of things. We're still getting that matrix effect on the windows. But all these things they've said are known issues, so if they're working on them, it's alright, isn't it? You know, let's give them some time. Xbox is seemingly in a worse position, which is a bit of a shame. I'm seeing that in the feedback as well in the videos. Oh, maybe that's it. Maybe that's it, Damien. Maybe it's what level you on. What level am I? Level 10. So possibly I can't extend it yet because I'm only level 10. Wonder if that's what it is. Hey, Kraza, how you doing? Sorry, I didn't see you sneak in there. How are you doing? Right, let me just, before I do anything else, let me just have a look what's going on with the map first. Why is it taking me to the Berlin sawmill? I don't want to go to the sawmill. Right. Let me get back to where I was and I'll rehash this. I thought I was going the wrong way. That's ridiculous. Right, okay. I know some of you guys have told me you've been having problems with this this GPS. No, I want to take that out. How do I take that out now? Yeah, matrix effect. Yes, it's coming down the windows. You can see it looks like rain, but it isn't. It isn't rain. The old sawmill. Yeah, that's. Is that a reference to? That's bus sim, isn't it? You know what I need to do? Let's go over to this one. I think this is how we unpick it. If I go to the Bremen coal mine, see, I can't take that out. I want to take that out. Ah, there we go. Right, take that out first. Then come over this side. Right, I'm having a nightmare with this, aren't I? Right, so the Berlin sawmill isn't highlighted. You know what I'm going to do though? I'm going to go back in because I know I'm going that way, not that way. I'm going to go back in and I'm going to turn around. So first of all, let me stop. Let me stop. You've levelled up a fair bit, have you, Antonio? Yeah, it's quite easy to do, isn't it? I keep spending all the money though to get the trophies as early as possible, like you've done. Do you get a random loud sound while driving? Don't think so. I don't think so. This GPS thing though is definitely a bit of an issue. I'm just going to swap cabs because the good thing about these ones is you don't have to go into the service centre and switch the train around. You can do this. So now I'm in the general direction for where we want to go in Bremen. So I'm hoping now if I go into the GPS, because I'm facing the right way, it will let me go to the coal mine. So that clearly there is going the way I want it. So let's go back. Yeah, it might be all right. Yeah, there you go, Bremen coal mine. So I think what it struggles with, if you're facing in the wrong direction for where you need to go, it was sending me to the sawmill because it thinks I'm going to turn around at the sawmill and then go backwards. So if you get that, just all you need to do is swap cabs. Just turn it around and then you're in the right position. I think that's what's happening. So you see what I mean? Because I was facing to the bottom of the map, the nearest place I could go was Berlin Sawmill. So it was going to take me down there so I could turn around and then come back out again, but it's a waste of time, isn't it? So I think we're on track now. So I see what it's doing, but it's just a bit odd. You get that loud sound, Damien, do you? I've not come across that. Not come across it. Have I tried passengers? No, I haven't done passengers yet. I've been concentrating on the freight. I might set this one up for passengers though, in a couple of runs' time, and then do that. So we've got to navigate back through again. Actually, you know what?
Station operator, you've been given clearance. Proceed to entry.
Yeah, I had to request access again, or it probably would have fined me for coming back in. But we're only passing through. So let's do that. Kraza says, "Do you play the bus?" No, I don't play. I don't play the bus at the moment. That's only on PC, isn't it? The bus. So no, don't play that. Hey Gaydon, how are you? Welcome back. Good to see you. Let's go to the Muhlensack Castle and with Captain Haddock. Yeah. The GPS sends you to the wrong place and disappears every few minutes. It can be quite confusing, can't it? I don't know. It'll be nice if they put together, you know, one of the Monday streams that me and you have been in, Peanut. It'd be nice if they put together a kind of a status of where it is on console after the opening couple of days and what they've noticed and what they're going to work on, etc. That'd be good. Train Sim have been doing that, haven't they? Dovetail have been doing that with TSW3. They've been doing a sort of daily update on what the main things are that they're looking at. So it'd be good if they do that. And just for you guys in the chat as well, that stream that I mentioned, I think that tends to run every Monday on Simteract's YouTube channel. So go and check that channel out if you're interested. That's run by the community manager. I think I saw you, Peanut, asking him Was it ad hoc or was it a regular stream? I don't think we quite know, do we? But it would make sense to have one this week, I think, being as it's just released for a lot of us. Be nice just to know what's been, what's been passed on and what's being worked on. You get the passenger train, you forgot what station it was, but if you deliver passengers from anywhere to London Main, you make 1.2 million. Oh, it's worth doing then, isn't it? I've just been, apart from the scenarios we've done, that are passenger scenarios, I've been concentrating on cargo. But you're right, passengers could be the way to go. So this is the NEWAG, right? And one thing I was going to say is I spent 950k on it because I thought it was going to do lots of amazing things. I can't really tell the difference between this one and the first electric loco that I unlocked, whose name escapes me. I can't remember. Actually, what I would say to you is, if you're thinking of buying one of the locos with your in-game money, because of course you don't use real money for any of this. It's not like Train Sim World. If you're thinking of buying one of those, have a look in the scenarios first and see if there's a scenario using that loco, because you get to have a little bit of a practice with it before you commit to spending all your money. Although the money is quite easy to make, as Antonio's just said. It is quite easy. Right, we've got an animal on the track. Zoom out a little bit. I wish the zoom came out a little bit more. But is that me just being used to Train Sim Worlds? Because you can zoom all the way out. I can't actually see the full, from the back, I can't actually see the full loco when I do this. Which is a shame. I have put my little Simteract bottle there on the dashboard. I haven't bought any of the others yet. Quite expensive, some of them, aren't they? I quite fancied the British telephone box, but I think it was something like 40,000. So I will buy a couple of those and switch them around a little bit. Right, let's get rid of Bambi once again, sat in the middle of the track. There he goes. Okay, that's good. You don't know if you were lucky, Antonio, because it happened when you leveled up. And leveled up like 4 times. Yeah, I think leveling up is key, isn't it? I think actually, if you go to company, I think it's in here. Yeah, level unlocks there at the end. This screen, I'm nearly at level 11. Look, in fact, I'm less than I've got about 200 XP to go to level 11. But I'm thinking in here it gives you extra driver slots. It gives you, what else does it do? It gives you access to different locomotive parts. I'm just trying to look, where it gives you more wagons. But I can't see that. I'm gonna have to definitely work that out because I do want more wagons. Yeah, some other games is the Gaiden as well. Train Life Session, which is a skating game, and Steel Rising. I've not seen the other two. Need to have a look at those. Thanks everyone for coming in though on a Saturday. Appreciate it. Speeding. As I said in the title, I can't stop playing it, so I thought, well, I might as well see if any of you guys are around and see if you want to come in and talk about it as well. Hey Ghost, how are you? Thanks for coming in. Appreciate that. Dave, good evening, Dave. Is it night time in Leeds? The clocks have already changed, have they, Dave? Over in Leeds? Let's just check on the map where we are. Yeah, so we're going past the Hamburg warehouse, Hamburg farm, where I've been before, then down to the coal mine. Once we get to the coal mine, we'll decide where else we'll go. I'll try and go somewhere again where I've not unlocked. And if I zoom out, I've got a choice of Dortmund, Amsterdam, Hague, Antwerp. So any of those I can go to. Let's see where else I've not unlocked. San Quentin, Saarbrücken, Mannheim, Stuttgart. Not been down here to Switzerland. So I've got all this here. I've not even been to Munich, which is a bit surprising. So I've got quite a few areas that I've not unlocked, which I need to get down to. And according to this, I've unlocked 32% of the map so far. Interested to know, actually, that stat down there at the bottom, how many hours playtime have you guys had? 14.5 hours I've got there. Unfortunately, I've had to work, so I've not played it as much as I wanted to, but Gaydon says, off-topic question, what is your favourite Tintin comic? Oh, that's a difficult one, isn't it? It has to be, I think it has to be a combination of Destination Moon, Explorers on the Moon. I think that's my favourite. That's actually 2, isn't it? That's actually 2, but I suppose they go hand in hand, don't they? But I would say that. What about yours? They're all pretty good. Dave says, have you noticed you're driving around, your money goes down, not counting any fines? Yeah, a few people have pointed that out, haven't they? I just wonder if that's just some kind of routine maintenance on your train, or loss of value on your train or something like that. I don't know. That's a good question though to ask, isn't it? We should ask that. Antonio, you've had 12 hours. Yeah, that's good. 3 hours for Peanut, but you've had all those issues, yeah. Yeah, I can understand that. It must be frustrating. A lot of the feedback, I've had lots of feedback from Xbox players saying about bad textures, text boxes covering the screen that can't be removed, things like that. Obviously, I've on PS5 I haven't seen that. It's not. It's generally, apart from a few issues with the map and giving employees routes via the map, so it seems to be map and GPS based. That seems to be the main thing. Even in this loco, even the matrix effect isn't as bad as it was in the original little shunter that we get. In that first one, it was really bad. This isn't as bad on this one. I can still see it, but it's not as distracting as it was. Maintenance and gas is done in the service. Yeah, I know. You top up your where it says 100% there in the hood. I know you do a fix all or a part fix, don't you? Which puts it up. But I just wonder if there's some kind of depreciation as you're going along as well. I don't know, or some kind of I don't know. If you're a rail company, do you pay some kind of rental to whoever maintains all the track and whatever? It's probably buried in the wiki somewhere. I'm going to spend a lot of time looking through the wiki because I've kind of dipped into it, or the codex as it's called, in the game. I kind of keep dipping into it, but I've not sat and looked and read through it properly, so... I don't think that'll be a bug though. That's probably part of the challenge, isn't it? To keeping credit. So the money's, yes, it just went down then, you see. It's not going down by much, but it did go down. Oh, level 17, Antonio, that's pretty impressive. The other thing I've done as well, of course, is as I've ranked up, I've unlocked a lot more of the scenarios. I haven't been back to the scenarios since we played it that first night on the pre-release stream. So I need to go back and do a few of those. Dave, when you had no brakes before, it derailed you. Oh, I see. And then you had your brakes back. So you were telling me, weren't you, that you kept pressing the circle button by accident, which what that actually does is put your emergency brakes on, and that's going back to what Peanut said, that's where your maintenance drops as well. And I've got pretty I've done that a few times as well. I've got it mapped to the same button because I don't think there are any other buttons free, to be honest. You'd have to move something off the circle button and swap it around, and you'd probably just get as confused with whatever button you're swapping it to. But I keep doing that, and I've been very close to being low down on that, but I've not run out as yet. So I was interested to know what it does. So it just derails you, does it? Which is interesting. Does it fine you as well when it derails you, or does it just end? Right, let's get rid of Bambi again. I'm assuming these animals, there's only ever deer that are on the line. I've not seen anything else yet. Right, must have gone. Let's see. Bremen coal mine is in the nearby station, so let's call it in.
Hello, this is the operator. Is there something you need?
It's that guy from Leeds again.
We're prepared to receive you and have marked tracks for your arrival.
Right, so there you go. So, by the way, I hope that tip was useful. If you didn't know about that, how you can change the GPS from the actual site, which it's showing now, to the actual pickup or delivery point by just pressing the tab like that. It's going to take me to the pickup track at the coal mine, where we can immediately pick up the wagon. So I didn't know if you knew that. I kind of found that out by accident, so I put it in a video. Most people gave it a thumbs up. Some gave it a thumbs down for some reason. I don't know why. They didn't like that tip. They preferred it just going in and finding their own way around, I assume. But people are people. So we're going to get down to a 50 right here now for this. Damien, you're level 15. Yeah, anybody that's not in the Train Life Discord, as Peanut says, join that Discord, because if you've got a particular issue, you'll probably see not only that issue has been already reported by somebody, but you'll also see the reaction by the community manager as well as to whether that's been looked at, etc. So it'll just give you a bit of reassurance that things are being looked at. So yeah, the link is still in the description for this stream if you want to join the Discord. And it's a quite friendly place as well. It's all good. Right, so here we are at the coal mine. Straight to the pickup spot. You're going to use tab. Oh, you're using a keyboard as well, aren't you? You've got the Bluetooth keyboard. Yeah. Luna, how are you? good to see you, mate. As usual, everybody, thanks for the likes. It's making a big difference. YouTube is actually now suggesting the content, and that's down to how many likes things get. Well, how many likes and how many dislikes, because all attention is attention as far as the algorithm is concerned. So yeah, thanks everybody for doing that. Alright, cool. So we're at the pickup spot. Let's have a look first on the map, because I want to, as I said, I want to go somewhere where I haven't been yet. So if we've got any contracts for, well, I mean, why don't we go, if there is any for Antwerp, why don't we go to Antwerp and we can have a bit of a run. So Dortmund, Amsterdam, Hague, Antwerp is what we want to look for. So let's have a look at the
Station operator here.
panel.
Sure. Here's what's available.
So Amsterdam is in there, so we could take some to Amsterdam. Antwerp was in there. We could go to Antwerp was the furthest point, wasn't it? Why don't we go to Antwerp? We've got 9 there to take to the Antwerp steel mill. Let me look at the green one. Yeah, we can take those to any steel mill as well, so we can top the train up with those. That's good. So let's go to Antwerp. We'll add those to our consist. We've got 3 spare at the back, so let's add another 3 from this one. Close that. Right, so we've got the full complement right now. So we're good with that. Then we need to do the coupling. So let's add these, because it doesn't really matter. We're going to the steel mill, so we can put them in any order. Let's do that. Change contract. Put them on the tracks. Then we just need to go along to where we need to hook it up, which is, whoops, not that one, that one. Hook that up. That's everything there. 660 tons of coal. And then all I need to do, because I'm sat at the wrong end, is switch cabs. So once again, if you can't remember where it is you're going, because there's a lot going on, isn't there? You can come back into company and you can look at my train, and it will tell you that Antwerp steel mill, and 15 hours game time it's expecting us to take to get there. So we could drop the 9 off. We can also drop the 3 off, because it's any power plant or any steel plant. So seeing as we're going to a steel mill anyway, we'll drop them off there as well. So let's go into the GPS and find, oops, didn't want to do that. I keep trying to zoom in and out with L2, R2 for some reason. I can't get used to using the D-pad to do it. Right, Antwerp. There's Antwerp steel mill right there. So accepts coal, produces steel. So I'm assuming this is what I'm thinking, once we've delivered coal, we can go back there and they will have produced some steel. Unless I need to take, is that iron? What's that other thing that it accepts? I'm still not familiar yet with the little symbols, but right, that's where we're going. Antwerp steel mill. Let's just check it's not taking us anywhere else on the way. I think we're straight there, aren't we? We're facing the right direction. So, right, we're all ready to go. Excellent. See, it's great, isn't it? Setting up a big job. You're ready to go. You're all loaded up, ready. Everything's there, and you're on your way. So, let's get the emergency brake off. We'll make a start. SNCF, bonjour. Ça va? If you get snow on the track and you get a big pile of it, just drive through it. 50 to 80 miles per hour, it slows you down a little bit. Oh, it does that, does it? That's interesting. I don't think I've come across the snow. Yeah, I'm good. SNCF, thank you. Right, these animals on the track are a pain, aren't they? We need some fences. You just ran through a mountain. Did you save that? You should have clipped that. You should have clipped that as a short video. Dave, you killed a deer, but it didn't find you. That's interesting. So what's the penalty then? So it tells you to do it, but what's the penalty? I don't know. I mean, there must be some penalty associated with it. Yeah, I haven't come across the snow yet. Yeah, what area of the map was that, Peanut? I wonder if it's one of the areas I haven't been to yet. It could be, because you've seen those dark spots on the map where I've not been yet. Right, let's get back in the cab. We can speed up some now. 120 this section. On our way to Antwerp. So once again, I do need to go into that codex and find out about these speed limits. Next speed limit is 90. But unless you route learn, I just don't know how you know where the speed board is, because you don't get enough time to see it. But as I said the other night, I don't mind that though. I don't mind a game where you've got to, you've got to look into it to find stuff out. That's fine with me. If it's all there for you on a plate, then it's too easy, isn't it? We've got that late evening sun, early evening sun, I should say. But I think it goes dark about 9 o'clock, doesn't it, on this? Let's see. Oh, you got snow in Munich, right? That's definitely one of the places I haven't been to yet. Put the lights on full before I get a fine for that as well. SNCF says, "Is this a good game or why?" Yeah, it is. It is, and because you can see what we're doing, we're able to just to pick contracts. If you think about on the road, but for trains or Euro Truck Simulator, just go somewhere, pick up a few contracts, take them out, deliver them. So not the same level of detail as Train Sim World. It's not that real driver experience that you would expect from Train Sim World. But as far as doing goes, there's plenty to do. So, I mean, for me personally, that's why it's a good game. It's a bit of variety. Plus the map all looks different as well. Everywhere you travel. You were going from the Berlin smeltery to the Berlin sawmill. Right, so I don't know about the smeltery, but I've obviously been to the sawmill. I've been to the Berlin sawmill, definitely. Munich was beautiful in the game. I'll have to take a look at that then. Obviously, we went through the other night. We went through Cologne, and Cologne was quite nice. I thought, especially the fact they put the cathedral in there as well, and it was actually quite a nice looking cathedral as well. That asset that they've used for the cathedral was actually quite nice, and it was quite close to the real thing, wasn't it? So that was nice to see. Yeah, I've got him. Corby's coming. 700. If I start doing it now, I don't think he'll hear me, but once I get around this bend, he will. Right, I'm assuming he's gone because I don't see him. Probably off to the side somewhere now. Right, speed up a bit. Does anybody know if you can get more money for doing passenger trains or for cargo? Antonio was saying earlier that he thinks it's possible that passenger, if you take a run up to London Main, it's possible to get quite a bit of money. I must admit I haven't tried it yet, but I will do so later tonight. And I might actually buy another train. You got the PZK Eagle you've got, Antonio. Yeah, I might. That's the DOS door looking type thing, isn't it? I might pick one of those up, providing I've got enough money to do so. The Alliance Arena. Yeah. I'll check that out once I get to Munich. Do you get fined for overspeeding? You do. I think if you overspeed for a length of time, I think it gives you a chance to. It gives you a warning and says you may get fined. And I think if you get the speed down quickly, I don't think it does. But yeah, you do. You can potentially get fined for speeding. Yeah, so I've been. Wow, there's a bit of foliage there over the track, wasn't there? I apart from the scenarios, I've pretty much done all cargo. But that's the thing about this game, isn't it? That you can do it different ways. You can do a mix of cargo and passenger as long as you're in the service centre and you can switch your loco between modes before you start. The other thing you could do is just you can work at it by building up certain cities and meeting city requirements. So if you look for each city, there's a requirement usually for so many passengers to be transported in, and also for certain types of cargo to be delivered, and that levels up the city. So you can do it like that, or you could do it like Farrow will probably do and look at the trophy list, and you can work on the game from the point of view of quickly getting the trophies as quickly as you can. There's all different ways, isn't there, you can get into the game. So right now I've just mainly been doing the the cargo stuff because I'm quite enjoying going from place to place, and the fact that it's not just city to city. You go into warehouses, grain mills, steel mills, power plants. Very industrial theme to the whole thing, isn't there? From the cargo perspective, which I quite like. Luna, yeah, I still haven't decided yet whether to buy this. Can you earn money in free roam other than in career mode? No. There's scenarios. I just need to slow down a little bit because of this train. There's scenarios you can do which are obviously fixed, like in TSW. They'll pay out money and XP. But if you're doing free roam, you can do free roam. You can go wherever you want, but you may as well take a contract with you because you won't make any money at all with the free roam. You'll just get to go up and down the map. So you may as well take a contract with you. This is a red light, isn't it? I'm going to have to put the anchors on. So I'm going to wait right here. I'm not going to move. Where's the game set, and what's the difference? It's Europe, so it is. Let me show you quickly again. If you have a look, over the left hand side we got London, then we've got France, Brussels, Belgium. We've got Holland, Germany, Switzerland. They're all in there. Poland. So it's a pretty big map. The greyed out areas are the places I haven't visited yet. So it's big. It's pretty big. So, if you want to go from one side to another, there's probably a contract for that, passenger or cargo. And on a couple of these streams we've done some big ones. We've done some big trips. And that's what I quite like about it. You just go in, oh, is there a contract that's going to take me right over to Poland? Have a look. Drive down to where you need to pick up the contract, get everything loaded up, then you're on your way. And it's like this then, the whole way there. It's quite a relaxing game. Is it possible in reality that a company's created has the right to use the railways like that? You mean going across different countries and like across the map? Probably. I mean, it'll work a bit differently in reality, wouldn't it? You'd have to be a scheduled route, and everybody would need to know where it is you're going from and to, and your timetable and whatnot. But yeah, I don't see why not. I think it's a bit different over here because you're not in the UK. You're not going across different countries and different borders. So I don't know what the rules are there as far as going across one country into another. It's not all about the trophies with Farah. Yeah, it is with some of them games you've played. Those 199 30-second platinum games that you've bought. I've seen you playing them. Still nothing from DTG SNCF. Yeah, it's a bit strange, that one. Oh, if I took a wrong turn and now I'm reading the chat. Right. Wait a minute. Right, so I've gone the wrong way here. Oh no, I'm back on track. Am I back on track? I might be okay, I think. Yeah, back okay. That was weird. Unless I was meant to temporarily move to the left track and back again. But now I'm okay. Yeah, because I'm trying to keep up with the chat. There's a lot of chat, which I quite like. How'd you get from UK to France? There's a mock-up of the Channel Tunnel once you leave London. There's a bit of a Channel Tunnel. It's actually quite well done, to be honest. It's obviously not. The thing to remember is as well, it's not like Train Sim World where if you had a Channel Tunnel, players would demand it was the Channel Tunnel with the bricks and the concrete slabs in exactly the right place and the bolts have to be on shore. It's not like that. It is a representation of the Channel Tunnel, which is fine. At least you've got one, you know. So you'll never get the level of detail Train Sim World's got. That Train Sim World is its own thing in its own right. So if you keep that in mind, then you'll be fine, and you'll enjoy it just as much. Yeah, Dave says there. Yeah, Channel Tunnel. See you, Damien. Thanks for coming in. Appreciate it. Hey, Michael. How you doing? Good to see you. Yeah, TSW doesn't have the tunnel, but you know what I mean. If it did, you know, if there was a brick out of place, then there would be hell to pay. Whereas this game isn't like that. It's not meant to be a one-to-one complete realization. I've seen actually on the Dovetail forums. I've seen a lot of people saying things like Train Life is a kid's game, which was slightly annoying. But I get it. If you're a massive train simulator fan and you want the real experience, this isn't for you. This game isn't for you. It's a bit different to that. But to call it a kids game, it's not a kids game. They probably wrote that and went back to Fortnite straight after. You know what I mean, SNCF. There was the southeastern high speed real fence controversy, wasn't there, where the wrong fence had been used coming out of one of those tunnels near Ebbsfleet, and there was a massive to-do. I'm not buying this DLC until that fence gets changed, and that sort of thing is what I'm talking about. Whereas you can't do that with this. Yeah, it's fictional. Just getting up, Michael. Of course, you're in Canada. Is it Canada? I think you're in Canada, aren't you? Baseball. Oh, it's nothing worse. Sorry to anyone that likes baseball. I've been to see baseball live twice, and I ain't got a clue what was going on. I went to see the Toronto Blue Jays. I can even remember. I was in Toronto. I went to the Toronto Blue Jays against, I think it was the Yankees. Um, the hot dogs were good in the stadium, but I didn't really enjoy the game. And then when I was in Pittsburgh, I went to watch the Pittsburgh Pirates as well. But yeah, unlike the NFL, which I quite like, I'm not so keen on the baseball stuff. I like this aspect of the game as well, is where you're coming up on a city and you kind of bypass it because you're cargo. You kind of go around the back, so you can see the station there. What station is that actually? Let's just check. Let's just check what station. That'll be Dortmund. That's Dortmund Main. So that's the main passenger station. So we're getting routed round the side as we would. So I quite like that. I was dragging the brake there as well for some reason. Train life is for everyone. Yeah, it is, yeah. It is, of course it is. I think what sometimes gets my back up is when people say things they've not played it themselves. You know, if you give an opinion once you've played something, you've tried it, and then I understand, you know. But whoever that person was, it's probably not even. Oh well, I went on Steam and I had a look at the reviews, so I think, you know, that kind of thing. Just play it. There's plenty of footage around. You know, if you've not played it, if you want to have a look at it. But anyway, that's me. I'll get off my soapbox now. You're in British Columbia, Canada. Nice, nice, Michael. Yeah, I think it's nice. It's nice on this channel. This is what YouTube's about, isn't it? It's nice to have an international audience. People that have the same kind of interest, you know, right from around the world. It's quite a good thing about YouTube. Yeah, that GPS thing, Dave, might just be something to do with the crossover between the PC and the console. You know, it might be working fine on the PC, and I don't know what they did to port it across to the consoles, but if you think of Tourist Bus, for example, it sounded there as if they had the PC game ready. Different company, of course. Tourist Bus is a completely different company, but it sounds like they had that ready, and then they just moved it across and expected it to work, which it hasn't, and still doesn't. So I don't know what was done with this one, because don't forget, this was in early access for around a year, just short of a year, before it was released fully, which was the end of August, wasn't it? So if you're in early access, you probably had similar issues to this over that period. I think the PC one's in a pretty good place at the moment, so you know, they'll work on it, they'll get it right. Yeah, this game's, yeah, it's a little bit cheaper, Krazer, on the PC. It is. Alright, let me put some speed in. But thanks everybody for coming in. We've got 22 people in at the moment, which is nice. The videos, the live streams and those other videos actually, you know, have been quite popular. So there is a lot of interest in this game just now, and you know, I personally, you know, I hope it does well for them. Especially with the taxi game that is coming out on PC that they've already said will come to console. So you know, if we get that as well later on, it'll encourage them to make more stuff for the console, which is always nice, isn't it? Yep, no worries, Peanut. Catch you later. Don't know about Tourist Bus on PC, Krazza. Not sure. It's been out a long time on PC, hasn't it? So it should be okay. So this is my 950k electric NEWAG locomotive. Upgraded, I might add as well. There's a trophy to fully upgrade a train in the game. So I had the money just to sit in the service centre and I just upgraded each component once just before the stream, just to get that trophy. So let's just have a check where we are. We're on our way to the Antwerp steel mill. Actually, we're coming into Holland right now. Bypassing the iron mine. Going past the Amsterdam refinery, and then we take a left down to the steel mill. So we haven't got long to go at all, actually. I think it's next month, Dave, isn't it? I don't think it's tonight. I think you're a bit early there. Right, approaching train has been spotted, so let's give it some time to move out of the way. We'll slow down a little bit before it gets on our line and we're in trouble. Oh wait, is this a red? Oh, see, look, now the track's occupied. I still don't fully get this, to be honest. Normally, I'm fine with it. Here he comes. Stop. Stop. Right, we go back up now. Back to the signal. See, he shouldn't be on this track anyway, to begin with. let's go to the back of the train and see where the signal is. There's the crossing point. I need to be the other side of this crossing point. He's following me as well, look. I think the thing about the trains on the wrong tracks, right? I mean, it's fine. I don't know why they would be there, but in the case of if you think about Train Sim World, for example, you wouldn't get to that point, would you? Because you would be held back by the dispatcher. If there was a train in front of you, you would have had a yellow, and then you would have had the red. You would have had in the UK, for example, you would have had a yellow, double yellow, red. No matter what was happening. With this, you get a little pop up saying there's something ahead of you, a thousand meters away, and you don't know whether it is or it isn't. You don't know whether it's just crossing a switch in front of you or whether it's actually on your line. It'd be nice to know which one of those it actually is, and it's difficult to work out. So it's kind of like pot luck, isn't it? Sometimes. So it'd be nice if that gets improved in some way. Just getting the sun coming up. There it is. (5 a.m) Yeah, it's dangerous. It is dangerous. See, I was hurtling along there at near 120. I saw the warning and I thought I better start to slow down, because it didn't say it was blocking the tracks. It said it was crossing. But when we got to it, it was actually on the track. It wasn't crossing at all, unless it meant it was about to cross in front of us. And I was going that fast that I beat the other train to it. Maybe that's what it was. Yeah, I got to find 1,000 for that, Dave, just then. I'm sure that sun was over there before. It's there now. Yeah, I don't know if it's I don't know if it's a bug. If this was Train Sim World, that would be a bug, because as I say, the dispatcher would stop that happening, and it would control all the signals for you so that you wouldn't get to that point. But in this, it's a bit less technical than Train Sim World, so I think if I'd have been, well, I'm doing 96 now. If I'd have probably been doing 96, I started to slow down, I would have been able to stop in time. But I was doing the full 120 and I started to slow down, but not. I didn't realise it was that near to me. Because you get the warning showing the countdown as to where the train is, but you've to come to a full stop before that point. You've to come to a full stop at the signal, but you don't know where the signal is. That's the other thing in Train Sim World. Up in the top right hand corner, it will tell you how far you are, unless you've got the HUD turned off. It'll tell you how far away you are from a red signal, so you know to put the brakes on. In this, the only way you would know is by route learning, and even then, I don't think you're going to memorise this, because you're not going up and down the same. Oh, hang on a minute. Am I meant to come in here? I don't think I'm meant to come in here. How's that happened now? Right, so I've been fined because I wasn't meant to come through the refinery. Okay, fair enough. I don't really know how that happened. What was I saying? I was talking about the signals, wasn't I? Yeah, the signals are much better done. You're going across the map in this. It's such a big map, and you can potentially go anywhere. I don't think you're ever going to route learn unless you stick yourself to one part of the map, which you're not going to do, are you, in a game like this? That's the whole point. You want to be roaming around the whole of the Europe map. So I don't know yet how I ended up. Where was the loop track? Let me just go back to this because that's bugging me. That. So I was meant to take a left here, bypass the refinery. But actually, no, that doesn't make sense, does it? Because look at this area. I had to go through the refinery, so it was my fault. I didn't book ourselves in. Because this loop line here to the left actually takes us past where we want to go, and it takes us up here. So I was on the right place. I just didn't realise. So there you go. So, I was saying it the other night. You do definitely still have to keep your wits about you, because like SNCF says, yeah, I lost a lot of money there. I wasn't expecting that at all. Right, so let's do this one, right? A train's broken down ahead. So that being the case, I'm going to go slow this time. I'm going to keep my eye on the signals. I mean, you can zoom, which obviously helps. So let's do that. So that's green. So this next section, I can go through this next section. So what I'm looking for, I think, is 3 yellow dots, which shows that that section of track is blocked. And after the 3 yellow dots, you get a red, but you can change track when you see the yellow dots. So let's see. Because I'm zoomed, it's a weird effect, isn't it? It seems I'm going slower than 48. Let's zoom back out, just for now. So it's 900 meters away. Right, that signal's green. But in the hood on the left, you see that red dot. So our track is definitely blocked further up. So I just keep my eye on the signals. I mean, I guess this is what you're meant to do. If it says there's a train on the track or there's something crossing in front, I guess the idea is in the game you are meant to slow down. Maybe I'm just not doing it right. So there's the 3 dots. You see the 3 dots under the signal. That means the next signal after that will be red. So this is where we want to switch, really. So I'll move it to the left. You can see the red signal ahead. So switch that to the left. We'll bypass. There's the train, look. And then what it'll do is when we get past, it'll probably direct us back behind that one. So, you can get round it if you're sensible with the speed, I think. But it's a bit odd. After playing Train Sim Worlds, you wouldn't need to come to a complete stop like that because the signals would already do it for you, You don't have to decide yourself whether you should stop or not, or what speed you should be doing. Right, Antwerp steel mill is now on the
This
radio.
is the station
Radio.
operator. How can I help you?
So let's get
You've been given
access.
clearance. Proceed to entry.
Right, so they're ready for us. So as per the video, I can press pad and it will direct us straight to the drop-off track now. Yeah, that's the thing, Dave. Yeah, the speed, going at that speed, in that instance where I got fined, I would have had to use the emergency brake to get that down, which is fine. You know, you can do that. But the little bit of emergency brake I did use has got me down to 77% already. It soon wears out, the emergency brake. Although one of the upgrades that I got for this train, one of them let you have a bit more durability on your emergency brake, so it's working a bit better than the standard emergency brake does. It'll last a little bit longer. But still, yeah, to get down from 120 in that distance was a bit difficult. So I don't always run up to the speed limit, so it depends how you want to play it. You're not timed on these, are you? So you don't, you know, you can do 50 all the way now if you want to. You don't have to go to 120. But would I like to play the bus? If it comes to console, Kraz, I'll probably play it. Yeah, like anything like that. Is the NEWAG okay? That's what I was saying at the beginning. I think try it in the scenarios first. There's a couple of scenarios that use it. Do those scenarios and see if you like it. I don't think it was worth paying the 950k. I can't really see the difference much between this one and the first electric loco that I unlocked. I actually like the cab better in the first one. This one's it's a bit ICE, isn't it, this one? But at night it doesn't light up very much, so it's a bit plain. So this will be the entrance to the steelworks, so I'm going to bring the speed down. Hey Stone, how you doing? Nice to see you. Is the haptic feedback on the PS5 controller any good? It's like so you get sort of rumbling as you go over the points. So right now, going over this set of points, I'm getting a lot of feedback. It's more just a vibration though, so it's nothing special. But it definitely helps over the points. It is quite good. Yeah, do you know, SNCF, I've not been on Long Island for a long time. I need to, once I get the add-ons manager for TSW3 through, then I will be able to play it again. Krazzy, yeah, Fernbus, definitely. Fernbus I'll play. Hoping that comes out on console before the end of this year. Yeah, are you picking this up, Stone? Are you planning to pick this up? Let's get the emergency brake on, and we can do the uncoupling. We'll get some money. So we need to unhook the ones at the back first. So let's change contract to these 9 at the back. And if I move along to the place where we need to uncouple, which is this one, let's just check. Any, I think it's that one. Yeah. Confirm delivery and finish. 125,000 for that. and we got a time bonus as well. So expected time was 15 hours. That's game time. That's in-game time. 15 hours 32. Did it in 14 hours 28, and that's even with a couple of stops for emergencies. So that's good. And I got a new trophy there, mid-level. A few new parts we can use, and driver slots, dashboard accessories, etc, etc, so that's quite good. So then let's uncouple these remaining ones that we've got. So let's just uncouple them. Confirm delivery, finish. 32,000 for those. So let's close that. Right, so there we are. We're at Antwerp Steel Mill now, and we've completed that job. So let's have a look on the map. Let's see if there's anything near us. At the moment, the steel mill isn't producing anything because it hasn't got the ingredients, let's say, to produce anything. We've just dropped off 12 loads of coal, which is good. That gives it a start. We could go to the Hague pump jack, which is producing oil, and then we could come down to the bottom. So why don't we do that? We'll go to the pump. In fact, let's have a look. Let's go to the Antwerp pump jack. Why not? Let's have a look what contracts they've got. If we go on to Square, plenty of crude oil contracts. Salzburg I've not been to. Munich I've not been to yet. Let's just have a look where they are in relation to that. So Salzburg is down here, isn't it? It's in this corner. There's Salzburg. Where's Munich? Munich's there. We could go to Munich, actually. Why don't we go to Munich? We'll do that. So if I go to the Hague pump jack and just set that up. So actually there's a loop here which is quite good. I can go around the loop and back out the other side. So let's go there. My emergency brake etc is on 77%, so I'm alright for now. I don't need to go in the service centre, I don't think. But yeah, let's try Munich. Yes, as Antonio says, definitely try Munich. November for Fernbus, yeah, hopefully Kreza. Yeah. You're thinking about it, Stone? Yeah, definitely. At this price point, it's quite a good game, I would say. So let's get underway. We'll get the emergency brakes off. And we'll navigate to the pump jack. Is that a real term, that pump jack? I've not heard that before. I mean, I know what it is, but I don't think I've heard the word pump jack. Then we'll have a run down to Munich, and then we'll call it a day for today, and that'll be 2 decent runs we've done. Munich, Salzburg, and Vienna for snow. Right, I'm looking forward to this then. Let's hope it's snowing. Sounds like waterworks, yeah. Well, just take it nice and easy out of this steel mill. I mean, I actually think all these power plants and steel mills and warehouses, I think they're actually all quite well done. I said it the other night, I love the smoke coming out of the chimneys. Things like that, little details like that, So it shouldn't take us long to get to the Hague pump jack. And all these places now that we're visiting today, I've not been to before, so it's unlocking them on the map. What was I on 23% before on the map? Percentage of the map explored now is 36%, so that's building up. Yeah, you're right, Michael. Yeah, they give the area life, and not only that, because we're working cargo and freight, and we're delivering coal and we're getting power plants going. It gives the immersion for me of that's what we're really actually doing. It looks good, that, doesn't it, in the background? It has got, it's got a few things wrong with it. It's got a few bugs, small ones if you're on PlayStation, nothing more than that. I think Xbox has got the unfortunate bulk of it, but it's got a lot going for it. And it's like, today I am down, I've moved the PS5 back down to the living room. So I'm just sat here in the easy chair with my feet up, just playing this with you guys. During the week when I streamed it, I was upstairs, I had it connected up in the office. But today, I'm actually led back playing this, and I need to switch tracks. There's the three dots again. So somewhere there's a train in front. I'm sat in the easy chair playing this. It's quite relaxing, It's a very good game for that, actually. Very chilled out. So the broken train is up here. Hopefully now we've switched track. We're good, but I'm going to be cautious. The 3 yellow dots were definitely under the signal. Afternoon, David. How you doing? David says, does this game have mouse and keyboard compatible to use on Xbox Series S and PlayStation 5? It's a good question, David. I don't know the answer to that. I don't know. Right, so I'm getting a signal that the broken train is still in front. Let's check it out. I don't see anything on the signals. Right. Is it here? Right, so the right track is blocked. You can see the red signal there on the right hand track, so we'll stay on the left. So I could have actually travelled a bit further after those yellow dots and then just crossed there before the signal, but it doesn't matter, it's all good. We've avoided another €1,000 fine there, so I'm happy with that. We can come back up to speed. The Hague pump jack as well is now on the radio, so let's get access.
The station operator here. What can we do for you? You're clear to arrive. We'll mark tracks for you.
Alright, cool. And we'll set the GPS to mark the pickup track. And then we'll pick up our Munich contracts and we'll be underway again. Thanks again everyone for coming in. Appreciate it. Eventually, Krasi, I will. Yeah. I need to replace my iMac first, so that's going to cost me, and then I'll think about it after that then. Right, we're crossing back over. You see what I mean? All the scenery is different for such a large map. And this will be where the pump jack is. So it's taking us off. They got our country right, flat as a pancake. Oh, you're from here, are you, Stone? Being able to navigate now to the actual pickup track is a good thing. I'm pleased I found that, because the first few times I was coming into a station or a depot like this, I was trying to look ahead where the pickup track was, straining my eyes to see the symbol. Yeah, you can switch this over and it'll direct you straight to it, so that's a good thing. You can do it the manual way, of course, if you want to, if you want a bit of an adventure, but you may end up going the wrong way and getting a fine. Or at worst, a lot of backing up backwards and forwards. Oh, nice, Stone. Welcome into the stream, by the way. I'm not sure if you've been in before, but welcome. Good to see you. You're just adding to our international audience, which is good. There we go. So let's get the emergency brake on. And what we need to do now is go back into the radio and the Hague pump jack.
Hello, this is the operator. Is there something you need?
And all the contracts are in the station panel, so let's go to the station panel.
Take a look at what's in our rail yard.
You're welcome, Stone. Nice to have you on board. So we are going to Munich. So we've got 12, haven't we? So we've got 5 there. Got another 4 there, which gives us the 9. What else have we got? We've actually got 10 there. So I haven't got a 10 and a 2. Could do with a 10 and a 2, but I haven't got one. Anyway, these ones are worth more usually. So let's take these 10. And what we'll do is we'll pick up 2. So this is what I was saying in the video yesterday. If you're heading down to Munich, and there is one of these one of these locations on the way down, you could pick up a contract for 2. So say I can't even pronounce that, Chechen. If Chechen was on the way, I could pick that up as well, and that will fill our consist up. And if I came to Chechen first, I would drop those 2 off first and then carry on to Munich. So you can fill your train up that way by taking multiple contracts. But in this case, we've got 10 for Munich, but we can fill up the other 2 by taking these, taking some from here. There's 100 spare wagons available here. They're worth less, look, 50 euros a wagon. But if I add those to planner, I can just fill it up. Because always go with a full train. Don't ever go with a part pickup, because you're just wasting money. Really, there's money there to be had. So there's 2 more added onto the back, and then we need to make sure we've coupled these. The good thing is when you do it this way, it switches your train around. The other way to switch your train around is to go into the service centre and do it that way. But we don't need to do that this time around. So let's put these on the tracks. Let's couple them. We'll go to the next one. This is the 10. Let's put those on the tracks. And then we just need to move along and hook these up. which is there. 1,320 tons, this one. So let's finish. There's our train, ready to go. So the next thing to do is to set the route before we leave. So it'll clear us all the way down to Munich. So I think it was the Munich refinery, wasn't it? So let's go back to the map. Let's go to Munich. Where's Munich? I can see Germany, but I can't see Munich. Where's Munich? Oh, there it is. Munich refinery, there it is. Sometimes you've got to fiddle around to get the box to highlight as well, I've noticed, but that's fine. We've done that now, so let's click X on that. So that is our number 1 stop. So again, we got a good run just to finish off. This is a decent run, actually, that one, isn't it? All the way down to Munich. Let's hope there's some snow. You guys have been telling me there's snow down there. So hopefully there is. Didn't switch the train around, did it? After I said it was switching the train around, it didn't. But if I... Right, okay, so we're going to have to switch the train around now. That's annoying. Route to destination has been lost. Where's the service centre? It's right over there, isn't it? Okay. That's a pain because that's switched around before. If you pick the contracts up from the pickup point, it usually switches it to the back. But it hasn't in this case. But it's not a problem. If we go to this view, so we can see what's going on behind us, we'll just pull out and we'll come back in again to the service centre and switch the train around. Okay, let's put it in reverse. Let's take the brakes off. And we'll move it backwards. Yeah, it's a dead end, yeah. It's weird. I'm used to it, at this point, automatically putting the engine on the other end. Maybe the dead end is something to do with it and it only switches it when you have an option to go either way. Don't know. Thanks, Stone. I hope you subscribed as well. That'd be great if you subscribe. Appreciate that. We'll pull out. We'll just go to the service centre. I think we just got the service centre at that side, haven't we? What's that over to the side? Is that a service centre? We'll work it out. So we'll just pull out to the station entrance. That's the way we'll do it. Oh, cool. Thanks, Stone. Thanks for that. Right, now it's saying there's a train ahead, but we're not going that far, so that's fine. Let's start braking. Right, so there's the entrance. Now then, I don't know, by coming outside the entrance, I don't know whether or not we've lost access, so just in case, just so I don't get...
Hello, this is the operator. You're cleared to arrive. We'll mark tracks for you.
Just so I don't get fined, I'll just ask permission again. And I'm going backwards. Let's try again. I think it's marking me to the service centre now, is it? Let's just quickly zoom in on the map because I want to make sure I'm going the right way. Oh, that's just... hang on. Yep, that's so it's routing me into the service centre, so that's fine. Let's do this, we'll switch the train around, then we'll be on the way. Would be better to put run round track. Yeah, it would have been better for run round tracks. Some of them have got them, haven't they? Like the one we just left has got run round tracks. The 57 in the Tintin, is that your year birth? No, it's not. No. I'm slightly younger than that, Stone. Just random number that. So I just need to run up to the doors and stop, then go inside, switch the train around, and then we really will be on our way. '63 Stone, nice. And a train fan, or train simulator fan, I should say. Right, so let's just pull up outside. I don't want to go pranging it through those garage doors. There's buffers there actually, isn't there? Right, let's enter. And then all we need to do is find the reverse point. Reverse train. Come back out, and we should be on the front now. There we are. So, now we're ready to go. And now our GPS has come back to the Munich refinery, so that's good. So I think, finally, we are ready to go. Let's get the brakes off then. And you're a big fan of the Tintin comics as well. I mentioned it the other night. I don't know if you saw the last live stream we did, but if you have a look on the channel, I've got a playlist for the old 1960s Bellvision Tintin cartoons. There's a playlist on there. If you want to reminisce about those ones, just go back and have a look at those. Those are quite good. Right, just navigate our way back out again. See, the scenery up here at the pump jack is all kind of like spring-like, isn't it? Look at the flowers to the left. But I am hoping, as you guys said, that we see some snow as we get down to Germany. No problem, Stone. There's a broken train ahead. I wonder if it's that one that we passed on the way in still. Could be. We might have to switch behind it. So I'll keep my eye on these signals just so I know the right switching track to take. Because I think he's in front of us. There's the red. So I can take this switch now, can't I? And avoid him. And we should be good. It's probably that same one. Afternoon V, how are you doing? Nice to see you. Keep it to 50, I think. One thing I have noticed, it's just a slight thing. There is an odd bit of rubber banding here and there. Tends to be where there's a dip in the track. It's almost as if you've got an elastic band around you and you're trying to drive forward and it pings you backwards again, if that makes sense as an analogy. I don't know if you saw it just then, about 30 seconds ago. It's not a massive thing though, but I've noticed it a couple of times. It's like something's holding you back and then they cut the string and you're able to get going again. There's the broken down train that we passed earlier. I wonder if that's static. If we came back in a few hours, would that still be there? Not sure. V, loving this game and so much potential. Yeah, definitely has. Yeah. I mean, I personally want it to do well. I want companies that make a game like this to do well, so that they get a share in that market, and then they bring something else out similar, like the taxi game, as I mentioned earlier, that they're making currently now for PC. And that is definitely coming to the console. They said so live on the stream last Monday. So anything like that, we'll play that on this channel. So you've noticed that banding as well, Dave? Yeah, just occasionally, isn't it? Do I prefer this or TSW? It's completely different games, really, Kreza. This does things TSW doesn't, and vice versa. So I'd play this for one thing, and I'd play TSW for another. So I can't really say that. I don't compare the two, apart from the fact they've both got trains in them. I absolutely love Train Sim World, and you know I have done for many years. So I don't think anything's gonna take me away from Train Sim World. We've got broken train ahead again, but it's not saying my track is blocked. But given our experiences, I'm gonna bring the speed down. in case we get something sudden. Will I cover the new Dakar Desert Rally game, or is that not your thing? It's my thing. It's my thing. I don't know if I would cover it on the channel though, Stone. But yeah, any driving game I quite like. I have to have a think about that. This area's got a lot of broken down trains, hasn't it? We've actually passed it. Must be over on our left somewhere. So that's fine. We can come up to speed. We've got an 80 just now. Into the tunnel we go. You have to try no hood. If I'm going to try no hood, I'm going to do that off stream first. I'm bad enough as it is without taking the hood off. Have you been driving with no hood, V? Seriously? I think in this game that really does represent some pretty big challenge. Does the hood take away the messages in the top right as well, or does it just take away the speedometer, etc.? That's interesting. The split tunnel. If somebody could do me a favour, just report that that spam chat there for me. That'll be useful, if you don't mind. That will get rid of it. Thank you. Thanks very much. Always something wants to spoil it, doesn't it? Hi Lee, how are you? Is it better than TSW3? No, it's completely different. That's what I was just saying. You would almost have both. You can't choose one or another. This is a completely, apart from it being trains, this is a completely different experience. This, if you want to properly learn how a driver would drive trains, with the correct safety systems, through real places with the real scenery, the proper simulator experience, that's Train Sim World. So that's the thing in its own right, and we know that one's quite good. So you would try both. This is different, this one, but they're both quite good. Oh, hello Tracy, how are you? I'm glad William's enjoying it. Shout out to William and Hugo. And I'm speeding again. Lucas, how you doing? Let's just check the map, because we are... Is that tracking? That's not actually tracking, is it? Or is it? Why are we still near the pump jack? Where did it take us? Oh, were we at the Hague pump jack? I don't even know where we were. We were at the Hague pump jack, weren't we? I was thinking we were at the Antwerp pump jack. Yes, it is tracking. Too many pump jacks. Hey Hugo, thanks for watching. Hope you're alright. I'm good, Lucas, thanks, yeah. Southeastern High Speed has a problem / bug, what do you mean? Well, Tracy, as long as somebody is subscribed at your end, that's fine. I need to get my numbers up. Pre-orders go out for police patrol officers now. So have you pre-ordered it, Lucas? 10th of November, that is, isn't it? That sky looks good though, doesn't it? Apart from that matrix effect coming down the windscreen. Yeah, the construction zones. Yeah, that's caught me out once or twice because you don't really get a warning about that, do you? You just suddenly get a 50, and that's it. Unless there's not a trackside sign, is there, that warns you as well, that I've just not noticed? Because that would be handy. After you learn the basics, the no HUD is doable. All the HUD elements can be found in the cockpit. Messages on the right corner can be found on the tablet. Right. I will try it once I've done things like unlock the whole map, etc. I told you, you derailed because of it. It got me the other night on the stream. I was happily going along. See, now we're going from an 80 to a 50. This sounds like it could be a construction. I don't know. I might be wrong, but let's see. The thing is, when you get to the construction, it's like right on top of you, isn't it? And it will derail you. This looks like we're bypassing a station. Let's check Brussels warehouse, then we got Brussels main coming up. Dave, no signs for construction, only the 50, yeah. Yeah, you see, that's another thing, isn't it? If there was if that was happening in Train Sim World, there'd be all sorts of signalling, warnings, etc. before you got to the 50, but it doesn't do that in this. That's what I mean about it's not meant to be a full-on simulator like Train Sim World is, or else it would do that. And that doesn't bother me as much. The thing is, keep your speed down. Still in a 50 zone right now. The other thing that's different as well is, of course, when you pass a speed board, the second you pass the speed board, you're allowed to speed up, whereas the real rule is once the back of the train gets to the speed board, which is how it is in Train Sim World. With this, there's an 80, so there you go, past the 80 I can now go to 80, so that's not realistic. But again, you can do, it's not, you know, if you want a proper simulator, you would look for that, but it doesn't matter. This is more an arcade type thing, isn't it? Right, so we've got another broken train ahead. So I'm just going to amble along until I see it. Yeah, I don't know whether they'll add anything for that construction. Is that the point though? Is that part of the game? Is it trying to catch you out to teach you to keep to speeds? Right, there's the yellow dots. Let's switch track. There's the red in front of us. So we'll stay on this side. We should go straight past it. But yeah, temporary speed restrictions, that'd be good, wouldn't it? You'd think they'd be able to add that in. I wouldn't like to be one of those track workers in this game. And to be fair, there is actually quite a lot of people on the stations and on the tracks, isn't there? When you get to those construction zones, there's quite a few people knocking about. But I was hurtling down there around 100 kilometres per hour the other night when I derailed straight into it. If you didn't see it, you can go back and see that on the stream. I went straight through it. I didn't expect it at all to be there. But I think it's part of the game. Yeah, as you say, Dave, I think it goes along with those broken down trains. It's to make you not just go A to B. It gives you something to do, doesn't it? I think that's the main thing. Because to be fair, if you're picking up the contract then going A to B, it might get a little bit boring after a time. Whereas even this switching thing seems strange down the bottom left-hand corner, but it gives you something to do. Or else people would complain it's too boring. They just get in the train and it just goes and it just gets to where they need to be. Whereas that gives you a few things to look at. Right, we're back on our regular track, so let's get moving. One thing I do miss from this, that is in Train Sim World is the counter that shows the distance you've got left remaining until you reach the destination. I find that quite a handy thing because I quite like seeing the miles or the kilometres ticking down. But as I understand it from Train Sim World, that takes It actually takes some doing, and it interesting world. It only shows as the crow flies, doesn't it? It doesn't show the track distance. So I don't know if that will be useful or not, but I do use it in Train Sim World. Got windmills over this side. You can tell where we are. So you start running up to speed, and it always makes me a little bit nervous because I really don't know whether or not some of those things we just talked about are going to come in. You know, you get up to the 120 and it actually feels quite fast. And it's so easy to derail. And each derailment, if you carry on from the point where you derailed, it'll cost you 50,000. But you can, of course, continue from the last save point, but you can't manually save yet in the game. I don't know if that's ever going to be a thing. At the moment you can't. It just randomly auto saves, doesn't it, as you go. So a manual save function would be nice. But then again, is that part of the game? Because you could, you know, every 10 seconds you could do it. If you derail, you're fine. You don't have to pay the 50,000. But right, so they're flashing yellow. So is that telling me the next one is definitely 100? Because that's what you would expect with a flashing yellow. Let's see. So the speed board's right here. This should be 100, which it is. Right, so that makes sense. Just sometimes the yellows don't always flash when you're going to drop your speed. And flashing green, I assume, means we're going up to the 110 at the next speed board. Well, it's just done it now, actually, hasn't it? We're already up to 110. So I'm hoping this one at the other end will net me quite a bit of money for these contracts. Bambi's on the track again, so let's watch for that. 1600 meters. Anytime now, I'll get on the horn. See, there's an autosave going just now. I don't know. I don't know if it's every 5 minutes or not that it does it. I've not quite worked that out yet. I might ask that question. I'd like to know if you derail, how far back you're actually going to go. Hey Kevin, how you doing? Nice to see you. Yeah, I don't know, Dave. I honestly don't know whether it's some kind of uh, sort of cost for using the line or something. Blame Railtrack or whoever it is in this country. There'll be some reason behind it. I don't think it's a bug. I think it's meant to do that. I'm almost convinced it's meant to do that, but it's probably worth just asking the question on the Discord. Because there's a lot of you have asked that as well over these last few streams. The speed limit messages on the HUD are buggy sometimes. Use signals and speed boards. Yeah, I've noticed that. I think that's what causes my confusion. Things don't always tie up. We're making good progress now. Let's just double check. I like to see where we are. We're coming down to Luxembourg, which is again a new area for me. Luxembourg. Then we're going through Saarbrücken Forest, through Saarbrücken just in general, Mannheim, Stuttgart, and then we start approaching. After Stuttgart, we start approaching Munich. So yeah, not far to go at all. Next speed limit is 80. There's the 80. Let's get the brakes on. You're still deciding, Kevin, whether to buy it or not? Yeah, well, you're in the right place. I don't know if you saw the other videos. Have a look through the playlist, and see what you think. It's the best way to decide. Are you on? What are you on, Kevin? I can't remember. Are you Xbox or PlayStation? It is available, of course, on the Switch. If you play on the Switch, it's available on there as well. Although I haven't come across anybody yet that's played it on the Switch. I'd be interested to know how it runs. And we got a 50 coming up, so now I'm nervous about the construction. So I'm just going to go at 50 anyway for this section. Just in case it wants to surprise me. V says it's a fee for electric locos. Is it? Oh, that's interesting. It might be. I mean, it might be because. But is it not doing it for the diesels as well? Because I can't remember now. I think I only used the diesel on day one, and then I upgraded to the first electric one. But that would make sense because you're not paying for fuel, are you? When you go to the service centre in a diesel, you've got to pay out for fuel every time you fill it up. So these are electricity. It shouldn't be free, should it? In a company management game. So you could well be right. I think it's something like that. It's some kind of maintenance or upkeep or running cost, for sure. You just got snow, Antonio. What country is that? Are you in Munich? You're still at Munich? This is Luxembourg. Bern, Maine. Yeah, I've not been down to Bern yet. You're on the PS5, Kevin. Yeah, I couldn't quite remember. I try to remember everybody's platform if I can. Sometimes there's that many of you I can't remember. I think on PS5, as you can see with this, it's actually running alright. A couple of little things around the GPS, and I would call them more niggles than showstoppers. There's a couple of things in the UI that are need swapping around. A couple of button assignments that tell you to do one thing, but they're actually double mapped. But apart from that, do I use employees? I've got one employee currently. I've got one employee. He's not doing anything at the moment because I said right at the beginning I was having trouble again in the map trying to assign him a job. Sometimes I can do it, sometimes I can't, and I don't know whether it's a bug or whether I'm doing it wrong. I need to spend a bit more time working it out. But that first employee that I've got, he's running the original train. I need to take on another one because I've got another loco just sat there doing nothing, so I could do to assign that to somebody else. So I'll probably do all that off stream. You got 3 employees. They make and they make money in the background. Yeah, it's exactly like. Well, I mean, I've not played Euro Truck, but on the road, truck simulator that we've been playing on here for some time. Exactly the same thing. Setting up routes for employees, letting them get on with it, and then by the time you've finished yours, they've made you a nice big wad of money, which is good, obviously, in a company game. Do a video about employees and how to use them. You got confused, so I gave up. If I work it out properly, so I can do it without stop starting, I definitely will. Yeah. That's why I wanted to do the how to pick up contracts and how to drop down contracts. It's those type of fundamental things, isn't it, that'll help. Basically, anything I've been stuck with, I've made a video out of it, because if I get stuck, there's likely others getting stuck as well. So, right, I'm in all sorts of trouble here. I know we're going right, so we're okay. I thought we were heading towards that train. It's actually on the other track, isn't it now? So we're good. You have the perfect voice for tutorials and narration. Do you know what? You're not the first to say that. I find that very strange, with my Lancashire accent. But you're not the first to have said that. Maybe it's this new headset that I got. I got a crossing coming up. It's weird that it tells you to use the horn at some crossings, but not all of them. So, yeah, I don't know. Don't know about that one. (2:17 a.m.) The sky's clear, so Let's have a look at how far we are from Munich, because if we want snow, then that sky is going to have to change, isn't it? Saarbrücken Forest. Mannheim. Mannheim's definitely Germany. What about Saarbrücken? Is that Germany? I don't know if that's Germany or not, but Mannheim's definitely Germany. So if we're not in Germany, we're on the edge. 2:21, so it should switch to daytime as well pretty soon, which will be good. How do I switch tracks so fast? It's the next time we get one, I'll show you. There we go. So we got one now. We got 400 meters to decide. So all you need to do is make it green. You can have it red, or you can have it green. If it's on red, you're definitely going the wrong way. So you do get a bit of a countdown there at the bottom. It's obviously a lot easier the slower that you're going, because you don't use up your sort of warning at the bottom, if you will. Generally, you keep to the right, I've noticed. So it seems tricky. It seems tricky, but when you're actually doing it, it's not. The tricky thing is keeping your eye on it whilst you're looking at everything else that's going on. I've missed it a couple of times by doing it too late. Just I've been looking at the chat or something like that. Yeah, the bottom number under the left-hand circle of the hood gives you the countdown. That's how much time you've got to be able to switch it. Flashing yellow, so we're coming down to an 80. Right, let's test this out and see if these signals are working right. Yeah, I do remember him, V, yeah. Yeah, see there, we've got a countdown of like 500 meters. So I can happily switch, around like this. Just make sure by the time the distance runs out, you're in the right position, you can switch. Saarbrücken is Jim. So I guess the Brücken gives it away, doesn't it? Right, there's the 80, so we're in the 80 zone right now. We almost need an aircraft version of this now. We've got the truck version, we've got the train version, we kind of need a cargo flight sim. And I'm talking about mainly on PlayStation, because you guys on PC and Xbox have got Microsoft Flight Simulator, so you're lucky so-and-sos, but something similar to this. Doesn't have to be real world, but it will be quite good to have something similar to this, which is just for cargo. Well, it could be passenger as well, even if it was just a European map again. That'd be quite good. The taxi game is actually shaping up quite well, and I think that is actually modelled, unless I'm mistaken, that is actually modelled on, I think is it Barcelona? Could be Barcelona. I need to check out, there's quite a few videos of it, I need to have a look at those. now that I know it's coming to console. I had kind of half an eye on it, because I thought it was just PC, but now it's coming to console. I'll probably take more of an interest and a following of it. So this is good when you come into a station. This is Zweibrücken station. It's nice how it lights up at night as you approach it. Hard Space Shipbreaker. I saw that had just come out. I've not tried that yet. No, is it any good? I've heard some good things about it. Because I've got this one and Construction Simulator all in the same week, so it's been a good week really. Right, we've got an approaching train. Right, so the track is blocked somewhere because we got the little red dot in the bottom left of the hood. So let's check the signals out. There's a red right there, so this might not slow me down, might need the emergency brake. Let's see. No, we're good. This is a long stream for me. How long is it so far? I can't just see how long it is. How do you get the destination locked above the GPS? Here it shows no route, although the route is highlighted. It just should. I don't do anything special with it, V. All I did was, as long as you've not got any waypoints marked by accident, your final destination should have the little one next to it there. And if that's in, then it should be all right. I know that GPS can be funny though. But apart from when I'm setting up stuff for employees, it's not been too bad for me. Apart from the fact it took me an age to work out that when I was in the map I needed to press square for the station panel rather than X. I thought I was doing something wrong at the beginning until I spotted at the bottom X was assigned to two different things. Then it made sense. Outside controllers when you're in space are hard to getting used to. I need to watch some. I'm interested in that. I'll have to watch some video of it. It's not one I've been following actually before it released. But I knew it was coming out, but I'd not really looked at it much. 2+ hours. Yeah, they're usually about 2 hours, aren't they? Generally. To be honest though, that's what I was saying about this the whole time. It's been 2 hours, but it doesn't feel like 2 hours. You can easily sit several hours doing it if you've got time. The horn sounds are quite beefy. I think in TSW it depends what it is you're driving. Yeah, I don't know the answer to that GPS issue though. I obviously don't want it to happen to me, but the only other thing was you saw earlier that I had the GPS issue when I was facing the wrong way in the yard, and so because I was facing the wrong way, it was trying to be helpful by sending me somewhere else first, so that I could turn round, and that was a bit annoying. But apart from that, it's kind of been all right. The BR 101's gone to 24.99. That's got to be a mistake. It's only a loco DLC, isn't it? That's a full map price, isn't it? That a full route. See, for a game this price as well, you can't argue with this scenery, can you? It looks pretty good. I'll put a little bit more speed in. There's no sign of that snow yet. We're in Germany, there's no sign of that snow, so let's see. I mean, what is it? I don't know if you guys have been to Munich several times, but if you have, is it always snowing in Munich? Does it ever change? Or is it just permanently snowing? Oh, you were based in Frankfurt, were you? That's good, Kevin. Yeah. Like I said, it's not like Train Sim World. We noticed as we've been travelling around some of the real buildings are in. So the cathedral in Cologne, for example. But at Frankfurt in here, I don't think it would be like for like. There might be a couple of things around the station that you would recognise, but the weather changes, right? So yeah, we might not get any once we get there. The hype for Steam coming to this game, it's already in, isn't it? The Orient Express, you mean? I thought it was already in, but you can't play it as you can't play it in services or do contracts or anything like that. I think there's only scenarios. If you look in the scenario list, is it not in there? I don't have that DLC, so I can't look it up. Yeah, just have a look, V. I'm sure it's there. You should have a set of scenarios, and you should have 2 additional stations in the map as well, as I understand it. Let's make sure Bambi gets out of the way. There he goes. Right, coming down to an 80, so let's do that. Okay, Kevin, yeah, no problem. Take care, see you next time. Right, let's see exactly where we are. So we've passed through Saarbrücken. Mannheim is next. So we've got Mannheim, Stuttgart, Munich. Miles to go here. It's a good long run, this one, isn't it? But the main thing for me is that it's uncovering different parts of the map. Let's have a look. 41% uncovered now. So that's good. No, you can't use the Steam engine for regular gameplay. No, it's just in the scenarios, as I understand it. I'm not sure why that is. I did see that in the Discord. I think people were expecting to be able to use it in the career mode in some way. Right, next speed's 50. It's probably going to run us around the back somewhere, isn't it, again? But just in case we have a construction. Yeah, I think we're running around the back of this station. "15 hours on the game clock." Yeah, it's a good run, that, isn't it? I don't know what this one... I can't remember. It did tell us at the beginning what it was going to be. In fact, if we go to company and we look at my train, does it tell you in this? Time left is 13 hours. It doesn't tell me how long I've been actually doing it for, so we'll find out. Have you tried the Orient Express, Dave? Have you tried it yet? I don't recall you mentioning it, so I'm not sure. Right, next speed limit's still 50, which is a bit strange. I'm suspicious of construction. In scenarios, Dave, in the scenario list, you should have a few extra scenarios added to the bottom. Right, this is why we got 50, because it's another train. Right, so the left-hand track is red. The right-hand side's green, so I think we're alright. I can't remember how many scenarios. I'd be interested to know how many scenarios you get, because I would expect a few scenarios, because it's effectively a paid DLC, isn't it? If you got the if you're in the UK, the game with the Orient Express was £34.99, but you could buy it without £24.99. And because I haven't got it, I can see in the PlayStation Store that if you buy the DLC on its own, it is £9.99, so it's 10 quid, the DLC. So, yeah, hopefully there's quite a few scenarios if you can't play it in the regular gameplay. Still telling me the next speed limit is 50. And it's been like that for a while, so... No problem, V. Thanks for dropping in. Appreciate it. Right. I saw the flashing yellows then. Ah, see, now it's changed to speed limits come up to 120. So, let's do that. Let's get some speed going. We'll get on this final section. It's a bit weird. I mean, I understand the 50 coming through the station zone, or bypassing the station zone, and I actually don't mind that because you get to have a bit of a look at the station, but yeah, a route to a siding or a place, yeah. So this is Mannheim that we're going through. So Stuttgart is starting to appear in the radio list. They could have put the towns on the GPS thing. You mean in the little circle there, bottom left? Just to show you what town you're going through, you mean? I know what you mean. It would be nice to kind of have something that flicks up to tell you what the place is, because you've seen what I do. I keep flicking the map up just to see where I am, but I don't need to do that if there was some kind of highlight that showed me. Yeah, the circle. They could easily do that, couldn't they? That would be helpful. The other thing is that we've had in some other games where we can actually move across to the GPS and we can click it and make it bigger just to see, you know, a wider view. I think you can fiddle in the settings with the auto zoom of the GPS or the zoom feature. I don't think you have to have it as close as I've got it. I need to have a play around with that. I did see a setting though. Right, we're fairly shifting now. It does actually feel quite good at this speed. Okay, Stone, thanks for coming in. Appreciate it. See you on the next one. Yeah, have a good weekend. Yeah, keep having to flick the map up. I mean, the thing is, it's quite easy to flick the map up. So, but it'd be nice to do that whilst you're still, you know, still moving. Being able to look at it while you're moving. If we get a long section at this speed, we should cut down the mileage, I think. There's areas just like then. There's areas where some of the bushes and trees. Oh wow! Look at this now. Right, I should have gone off then, shouldn't I think? Right, let me find out what's going on with this. You look at the signals. I think I'm good because I'm turning off here anyway. For a minute then, I thought I saw the 3 dots and I thought, oops. But if we'd have stayed there, then we would have hit the train if we would have been staying on that track. So, yeah, some of the trees and bushes clip onto the tracks as well. So maybe they'll take a look at that. Now we've got the rain starting. I don't think these windscreen wipers make too much difference, to be honest. Heavy rain, switch to the lights. Let me do that. There you go. Don't want to get fined another 500 for nothing. Hey Darren, how do you upload videos to the Train Life Discord channel? A few bugs you need to make them aware of. I think there's a limit, isn't there? Is it 8 meg? It's something really ridiculous. That's a Discord limitation. The only other thing you can do is you could upload them to your YouTube channel and then just put a link in the Discord. That might be the best way to do it. If you've got videos, that's what I would normally do. You can set the video to unlisted, so that anybody with the link can see it, and then just paste the link in the Discord. But you're right, it's probably better if you've got a video of something. That's probably the best way because they can see it then, instead of having to try to reproduce it. Next limit 50 because we're going up to a station zone, I assume. Yeah, no problem, Darren, yeah. think this is going to be, yeah, Stuttgart. So Stuttgart warehouse just on the left. So Stuttgart main is probably coming up. Can easily rack up these kilometres. Let's just check. 7,000, or the player driven distance, 7,412. The company distance is 7,759 because I've got that one employee. Of course, he's just done one run, but you can soon rack it up. We've probably covered a fair few just today, I think, in this couple of hours. Let's take a quick look actually, how far we are away from Munich. So as soon as we get out of this Stuttgart area, we will be into the Munich area, so we haven't got too long to go now. Thanks everybody for hanging in there, if you're still in. Right, let's move up to 80. Yeah, Stuttgart is starting to fizzle out of the radio, and we'll all change to Munich very, very soon. So we'll get ourselves booked into the Munich refinery, do the approach, drop this off, get paid, and that'll be us done. That'll be 2 decent runs. Let's look out for this train. Wow, see, there's no warning at all, so there's the emergency brake. Because we had a red just like that, straight after we got warned about it. So that's an example of that. Something needs doing with that a little bit. That's that wasn't enough warning for that kind of activity, I think. So now my emergency brake, putting the emergency brake on like that has took my maintenance level down to 48% there in the hood. Because when we were at the other end I didn't top it up, I think it was on 77, so it was already used up a little bit anyway to begin with. Laserjet, how you doing? Good to see you. Can't tell whether he's coming up here or whether he's just crossing. Got this game this morning. I haven't played it yet. Been busy today. Oh, you should quite enjoy it. I think Laserjet. Just remind me, are you on PlayStation 5 or are you on Xbox? Can't remember. This red light is taking some time to change. Series S, got you. I assume until that train approaching disappears, we will stay on red, even though it's gone off to the right hand side now. It's not in our way at all. There we go. I think my looking at the money situation, can't remember exactly what I was on when I started, but the money has gone down quite a bit during this trip. So I think V said it was to do with running the electric loco. I'll check up on that. I'm going to spend some time in the codex just to have a look. He reported again. Thanks, Dave. I shall also, off stream, I shall also block it as well for next time. Okay. Yeah, Munich's starting to appear in the radio. Munich Forest is first. So keep to the right. I can see why people like the Euro Truck Simulator now, with that, you know, that freedom to go across different countries in Europe. It's great doing it in a train, I must admit. I've not played Euro Truck Simulator. The only truck simulator that I've got currently is on the road, and of course that's just based in Germany. So that seems like quite a big map in on the road, but this is obviously way, way bigger. Also, the scenery is way, way better. Thanks, Dave. Right, 110. I think I can turn those wipers off now, can't I? The weather's picked up just nicely. It's just that section there it was raining. It's that short section. So I'll keep checking the radio till we see the refinery come up, and then I'll change the GPS over to the delivery track as soon as we see it, so that it'll take us straight in. Oh, you're back, Kevin. Well, we're not far to go now. Actually, we're approaching the outskirts of Munich. So yeah, it's a long old haul on this job, but we're not that far away. So providing we don't get any last minute hold ups, we should be down there in no time. Next speed is 70. Is TSW3 easier than TSW2? In what way, Kevin? You mean controls and things like that? It's pretty much the same. It's pretty much the same way of doing things. Wow, look at the speed. Lower your speed, lower your speed. I'm trying. Yeah, don't derail me there after all this time. There we go. Right, we're good. Yeah, the actual way you drive the trains, etc., is exactly the same. There should be no difference. You had a hard time with the setup on TSW2. In what way? Certain trains, you mean? One thing I will say about TSW3 is that with the training centre, etc., there's a lot more tutorials now than there were before. So I think from that perspective, you might find it a bit easier because you can go back and refer to the tutorials a bit better. The snow in the distance, is there? Let's have a look. Were they poking over the top of that hill there? Hope so. That's what we wanted to see. Oh yeah, there you go. Yeah, you're right. There they are. Could just see them poking out. Yeah, so through this little valley, we should see it. So we've got Munich Forest, Munich Grain Mill appearing in the radio, so we're not that far off. We should get the refinery, I think, anytime. Oh, are you talking about the American freight stuff, Kevin, there? Sandpatch and Horseshoe and that kind of thing. I think that is a bit easier now. As long as you use your banking comms, it should pick up the real locos. But again, like I said, there's a lot more tutorials on that now, which helps. Damn. It had to happen, didn't it? I don't get those. Honestly, I'm going to load the last save. I don't get those speed changes at all. We kept going there from 110 down to 80. I need to check where there's the snowy mountains, so it's not put us that far back. That's good. Let me check the map. Right, we're not that much further back than where we were, so that's good. Had to happen, didn't it, after such a long run? Well, we'll try this again. There's the mountains. gonna try this one? Yeah. Yes, it's all right. Yeah. Oh, you lost your brakes at 40. I'm gonna have to watch that. Yeah, I'm on 48. I just have to watch my speed for this area. This seems a strange area. It's a bit up and down speed wise. $60, $80, $110, $120 it was switching about in between. Yeah, so actually it didn't put us that far back, did it? This was where we could spot the mountains through the valley, so I'll just go slightly faster. I don't want to go too slow because we'll never arrive. Yeah, you talk about the brakes wearing out, Dave. They did seem to not be reacting as good as they normally do. So they've definitely. I'm assuming that is the brake effectiveness. Is it that 48% that's left? I'm being dead cautious now because I don't want to run out of brakes so near the end. The smeltery has appeared, so the next one will be the refinery. So the gas station simulator is coming to PS5 on October the 20th. Is it coming out that quick? I didn't realise that. I knew it was coming, but I didn't realise October the 20th. I might have a look at that then, yeah. You had to derail yourself to get the brakes back. Oh no. I don't want to lose any more of that 48 there. I think we're so close to the end. There's the snow-topped mountains. Oh, you didn't get a fine for the derailment. That's interesting. I keep thinking I'm just going to get near the end and get a construction. Oh, you went back to the save, so in effect you kind of skipped it, I guess, didn't you? It didn't realise that you'd done it. Yeah, the 50,000 for a derailment is pretty steep, isn't it? And I'm assuming that these mountains are kind of static scenery, so they're always going to be they're always going to be snow covered. I don't know that though. I'll have to look at that when I come back to Munich another time. But we're right in the heart of Munich now, so any time we should get the refinery on the radio. At least it didn't make you start from the beginning like it did on CSW2. Yeah, it does, doesn't it? If you derail or you spad, end of the service, isn't it? Yeah, there's no restore from save point. Let's check. Let's just check. Yeah, not far now. Round the corner, as it were. Wow, that's been some trip, that, hasn't it? That's definitely been a big trip. So the weather is just now, as the weather's looking quite good, actually. The skies are quite clear. So whether we'll get snow or not sure. Quite a wide area of the track, this, isn't it? Coming down to Munich. There's not as much AI as I expected, and I did see that on the Discord as well. Is that right at the beginning on PC they put in a lot of AI, and it was causing some trouble, I assume, with the performance, etc. And they dialed it right back, but they did say that they were gonna start looking at how they could possibly feed that back in again. So that'll be good if they put some in. There's the refinery.
This is the station operator. How can I help you?
So let's call it in.
You're clear to arrive. We'll mark tracks for you.
So let's get ready for that. Before we get to this, I'm just going to pause it. I'm just going to go and get a drink. Give me 2 seconds and I'll be back. There we go. Sorry about that. Too much talking. Right, we've got a broken train ahead. So, do I need to change? Let's see. Actually, looks like the red is on this side, so I'm going to swap back to the right. Right, hopefully that's good. The next job, take it to Salzburg. Salzburg and Vienna are in snow. Oh, that's good to know. Yep. I may even be back on this off stream later on, I think, because it's been quite good, to be honest. I have been quite enjoying it. There's our broken train. So we're past him, so let's get going. Are you timed on this game? No, you're not. Well, certainly not with the cargo. There's a you get a bonus if you're within a certain. It does give you a time to do it in, but I think it's quite generous. The only thing that happens if you don't meet that time is you just don't get as much payment at the other end. But it's not like on Train Sim World where you've got to be at a station by a certain time. This job, for example, maybe it said, you know, you've got 30 hours in game time to do this whole run. And it just means you get a bonus if you meet it. That's all. Not very strict, I think, is what I'm trying to say. So I think when we clear this main part of Munich, then we should be good. I don't know about that sky though. Is that turning a bit snowy? It's going that kind of colour. It's possible. Oh, there you go. Wow, look at that. If you blink, you miss it. That's weird. So there we go, we have got snow. So that snow there must be static. That looks like what you showed me before, Dave, actually. It looks as if that's the exact same scene that you showed me. So that snow on the ground is probably part of the scenery. Because it isn't actually snowing in the sky. But it's nice to see the snow. So that's what we came to Munich for. Right, the next speed limit is 50. Let's just get it down anyway. I'm assuming we're turning off to the refinery. Right here, it looks like. It's when you're coming into these places you need to be good on the switching. But you can slow it down even further. You don't have to obviously come in at the full 50 because you're going to be stopping anyway. This is actually a nice place with the mountains there in the background. And of course the green line is taking us exactly where we need to be with the drop-off track. So we'll just pull some way in, then we'll unload these contracts, and that's us done. And that's quite handy. The service centre is right ahead of us as well, so after dropping off the contracts, what you could do is go straight to the service centre, repair the brakes. If you're in a diesel, you can go and fill up the fuel, etc. So sometimes the service centres are not right in front of you. You have to navigate around the yard to actually to get to them. So let's go into the decoupling menu. You don't have any contracts or deliveries. Why not? Oh, am I too far forward? It's gone red, hasn't it? Wonder if that's what it is. Let me go back a little bit. I'm hoping it's that. Oh, actually, you know what? Look at that. We're actually... That's weird. If you look on the map, we're on the pickup track. That's what's happened. We're meant to be on the one next to it, so that's weird. So that that GPS that was bringing us in has always taken me to the drop-off point. This has taken me to the pickup point instead. But that's easily fixed, right? So what we need to do is, if we go at the back of the train, all we need to do is go back out, and so let's do that. And we'll go to the drop-off track, which is the one next to us. How strange! There's another little niggle, but it's easy to fix. I thought we'd come all that way then, and we weren't allowed to drop things off and get paid. That would have been annoying. So let me just make sure the points are all set correctly. So actually I can go this way, can't I? So once I'm able to get where I can pull forwards, we'll do that and get dropped off. So just beyond this switch. There we go. Right, this time we're going over to the drop-off point, which is right there. So let's put it in, whoops, wrong one. Let's put it in forwards. In fact, let me just go backwards and make sure I'm over the switch. Because I need to be able to go left on this one. There we go. Right, so if I go left, and I'll just do it slowly so that I go the right way, I can see where we're aiming to go. I just don't understand why it's put us in the the pickup point rather than the delivery, which is a shame. Right, so now we want to go to the right. Then we want to go to the left, and that is the drop-off point. So let me change that. So you can navigate yourself. I've found using that GPS until now. Found using that GPS much easier to do it. But this is where we want to be. So this is the set down point. Get some brakes in. Right, let's see how we get on this time. That's better. So let's change to the back contract, which is what we'll drop off first. Then we just need to go to the uncoupling point, which is this one. Uncouple those, confirm the delivery, finish. Yeah, 229,000 for that. So let's close that. A few additional parts and accessories for that. Then we've got one more to drop off. So let's uncouple it, confirm delivery, and finish. Another 46,000 for that one. So that's everything dropped off. That was a decent run, wasn't it? That one. It went on longer than I thought, to be honest. But it was nice to get down here. It was snowing as well in the end, which is one of the things we wanted to see. So thanks everybody for coming in. I appreciate it, and I appreciate all the likes and the comments. And we'll be back pretty soon with a bit more of this. So have a good evening, everybody, and I will talk to you all on the next one. Take care.